Hi guys, this is Miriam Maris for Open Mind Academy. And today I want to speak to you about my personal passion, which is forgiveness. I'm going to speak to you about what forgiveness means to me, what it has done for my life, and how I got to know forgiveness. For me, it all started out 2 years ago when my life felt really stuck. I was in a stuck place where a lot of things in my life were, not as I wanted them to be. First thing, my job. I felt overwhelmed. I felt, nice one here. I felt like I was doing things that I wasn't intended to do. I felt like I was doing things that made me feel like, it felt like energy drainers, and it didn't make me happy. And I also recognized that I was totally cut off of myself, of my needs, of why I came here on this planet, if I make it really big. And on this holiday 2 years ago, I got really, really sick. I got so sick that I spent over half and maybe even 3/4 of my holiday in bed with a big fever, 40 degrees Celsius. I was really, really sick. I ended up going to a doctor, getting medication, and it made me feel even worse. So instead of letting it ruin my holiday, I decided to make the best out of it and to make a clear decision that I wanted my life to change. I wanted things to change for the better. Although I didn't know how, I felt like if I don't make that choice, then who will? And so we went back home, and I felt in a way terrible because our holiday just really collapsed. But on the other hand, I felt hopeful, and I felt guided, and I felt that I had taken a decision that really mattered. Like, I want to change my life. And I am the one who's going to do this. Although I don't know how, I made a positive decision out of a difficult situation. So that's how I went home, and I had no clue. And for about a month, I was thinking, how am I going to turn this around? What do I need? What do I want? What do I want with my life? And the problem when you have those big questions is that it can feel really overwhelming. So I pushed it aside a little bit, I guess. And lo and behold, 2 months later, I was at a conference. And at this conference, I was supposed to go to a certain workshop. But around a minute before it started, I decided to go to another workshop. And there was one space left. And I went in and I met Eileen Barker. And Eileen was speaking about forgiveness. And I had no idea why I wanted to be there, because actually the idea that I had about forgiveness was pretty, childish in a way. The first thought that came to my mind when thinking about forgiveness would be like, okay, but this is something that God does, at the end of your life. You go to heaven and then you get forgiveness if you're lucky. And the other idea that I had about forgiveness was that it was a little bit of a childish thing, that you had to say sorry, and then the other person, okay, I forgive you, and then all things were well. But when Eileen started speaking about forgiveness, I was blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, this is wonderful, and can I learn this? And it totally hit me within the first 5 minutes. Because what she said was that forgiveness is a process. Forgiveness is a process deep within. And it's a process about things that feel stuck, that irritate you on a daily basis, that give you stress, that wear you out, that, are things that are not in flow, not in tune, that are really making your life not good. And that you have the power to change that around. And that it is a one-sided process, that the other person who did something to you has nothing to do with it anymore. That you have the power to change things around for yourself, regardless of the other person. That the other person didn't need to know about your process, that the other person didn't need to say sorry, that it didn't mean that you would accept the things the other person did to you, but that it would set you free from what happened, that it would set you free from your past, and that you would look to the future with different eyes. So I was like, oh my gosh, I really want this, because, we're all human and things happen to us. And actually, when I entered the workshop, I thought that my subject would be my parents' divorce, which was a long time ago, but it wasn't very nice. It was one of the most difficult periods in my life. So I thought, the workshop would be around that they would pop up in my mind's eye, and that I would be doing my first process, because I already decided I wanted to learn about this, that my first process would be around them. And then something happened, and I didn't foresee it, and it was just so weird at first, but then so clear at the end, because my daughter showed up. My daughter, who was trying to tell me something, that our relationship could improve, and that I needed to work on myself for that. So after denying it a little bit at first, I decided to give it a go and do my first process around it. And after that, I did some more processes around it. But what it did for me was that it totally shifted my energy around the relationship with my daughter. And that's how I got to know forgiveness. It set me free of the guilt that I felt towards her, towards being not good enough as a mother, towards my failures in her life. We all do the things we do like we think we should do them until we know better, and then we do better, like Maya Angelou always said. But I was feeling so much guilt towards her that I had put my, unhandy being a first mom things on her, and that she needed me in a different way, and I felt really bad about that. But this process of forgiveness, it set me free of that thought. It really connected on a very deep level. So I went from feeling guilty, feeling the dark side, to acceptance of my role in this story. And I went from putting blame on her that she wouldn't listen to me, or that she wouldn't this or wouldn't that, or she did it like this, or she should have done it like that. The blame things we put on our loved ones. I shifted that towards, oh my gosh, this wasn't about her. This was about me. And it was about me feeling not good enough as a mother. And now that I see that, I believe that it's not true, because I am good enough as a mother, because I tried my freaking best here. And when I shifted that and I let go of the guilt, my energy towards her shifted. And the same day that I came back from that retreat, she hugged me like she never hugged me before, and I never told her. So she felt something in my energy, and I could feel it too. And I can still feel it on a daily basis. And that's what forgiveness does to you. It sets you free, and it releases you of old patterns, of old thoughts, of old emotions that are not true anymore. So after that experience, I decided to change my life around. And I have accepted and incorporated the forgiveness mindset, which, if you tone it down, is all about, not taking things so personally on a daily basis. Like when you're in traffic and someone's being a badass or a jerk or whatever you want to call it, you can get really upset about it. Actually, the other day I read on Facebook a message from an elderly lady who was complaining about all the bikes parked, on the curb, and I live in the Netherlands and we all bike, so that was a huge thing in her life, that she got so irritated on a daily basis. She wanted to have a shout out on Facebook. And when I read that, I'm a little bit amused, because it's something that I would have done a couple of years ago. But now that I have incorporated the forgiveness mindset, which is not to take things personally and to actually have a choice in how you react to things that irritate you or that are difficult. I could only laugh at it and think, oh my gosh, if she would do forgiveness work, how much better of a life that lady would have. And this is what I am here to teach you. I have done the coaching training with the fantastic Eileen Barker, and I am on a roll in this field. And if you want to have more information, please click the thumbs up and go to my website. And I'm there on Facebook, I'm there on Instagram. Like me, share me, and share my page obviously, and register on YouTube, because there's lots more coming up. And the first thing that's coming up is for ladies who feel stuck in their marriages, who see their marriage falling apart. And I'm organizing a first challenge, which starts on October 9th. It's a 5-day free challenge with lots of value and lots of big changes and, changing point of views, and so much value that it's almost incredible that it's going to be free. But it will be free, and it will end with a live webinar on October 13th. And you can sign up for it probably starting next Monday, but I will put a link onto below this video if you can sign up. But anyway, do sign up for my YouTube channel, do follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be posting much more about this real soon. So I hope to see you, because I can guarantee you this is gonna change your life forever.